Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 51. I'm so grateful you're here. This episode is going to be super short. It's just an encouragement one. Hopefully it'll fuel you for the week. We've got a scripture for the week. We've got a quote that I think is going to really bless you. And then a song of the week as well. All right, let's dig in. Welcome to a Holy Mess podcast. All right, my friends, we all know life can be so difficult and painful at times, especially when we're carrying grief or loss or wrestling with shame about our past, anxiety about our future, or frankly, like we are just not enough. But there has to be so much more for us. There is hope and joy, peace, love, fun, purpose, and a reason that you, my friend, are on this planet. Let's partner with God so you can be who He created you to be as you wrestle through and trudge through your mess. Hi, I'm Dani, a recovering alcoholic, a mom, a wife, a mentor, and dust. We are only here for a moment. Let's live like it. I'm just like you. I'm a holy mess most days. Actually, every day. Let's have some fun and laugh while trudging through our mess. This stuff doesn't need to be dry and boring. Let's dig in. Okay, you guys, I'm going to keep this super brief, but I could talk for hours about this. Okay, so I don't know if you saw the Instagram video this week, and let me back up. I don't usually talk about current events or, celebrity stuff or anything like that, but I don't know if you saw Will Smith's apology to Chris Rock this week or not, but when I watched it, there was a section that I was so moved, and it was just super profound what he said. And so I wanted to talk about, that's the quote of the week. And honestly, I don't care what you think. I don't care what I think about this whole Will Smith, Chris Rock, Oscars thing at all. I mean, I know that there's people on both sides or whatever. I don't want to get into the muck, into the mire of it, but for two reasons I wanted to do this. Number one, something that he said was super profound, and I think that there's a huge, huge life lesson for all of us. If you've ever blown it, or if you're carrying any regret or any remorse or any shame, anything like that, and it just spurred this thought in my heart and mind. And number two, Will Smith is my celebrity crush. He's been since I was a kid. And so I was heartbroken when this thing happened with the Oscars. So anyways, I got over it pretty quickly, but we just bless Will Smith and hope that all is well in his life. So yeah, I'm a little obsessed with Will Smith. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? And so I grew up, in the 90s when that show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why can't I say that? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's that show. I know you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, born in Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground is where I spend most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Come on. I know you guys sang along with me. I could keep going, but I won't because my kids will kill me. That's the most you're ever going to hear me sing on the podcast. Okay, but here's the deal. Will Smith blew it. Okay, everybody knows it. He knows it. The whole world knows it. All that sort of stuff. What you think about the guy doesn't really matter. What I think about the guy doesn't really matter, okay? But here is the life lesson. I want to say the quote that he said, and then I want to share some thoughts with you. But towards the end of the video, when he apologized to Chris Rock and his family, and even to his fans and all of that, he said, "The work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself." I literally, when I heard that, I was like, Will, that is it. If we can all look at the things that we've done, the things that we hate, the things that we regret, and be remorseful about them, but not being ashamed of ourselves because of them, that's the holy grail. I mean, I am telling you, when we get there, there is so much peace and so much freedom and so much confidence that we can walk in, right? And so the things that you've done or the things that you're wrestling with about yourself, they don't need to define you and define who you are at your core. Sure, those moments were defining moments, but they don't ultimately define who you are, right? Absolutely, take responsibility for your actions. But when we fall into condemnation or shaming ourselves, it's too far, because when we fall into those areas, we can't heal. We can't move forward from a place of condemnation or shame. It's absolutely impossible. And the verse of the week that goes right along with this is from Psalm 34:5, and part of verse 8. It goes, "Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him." You guys, sometimes when we blow it, we try to take refuge in other places. We take refuge in excuses. We take refuge in, even in our shame and condemnation. all of that, where we've got to come out of the shadow of shame and literally take refuge in God and all the freedom that God has for us, right? But how do we do that? That is the work. That is the Holy Grail. That is what we're after, is how do you actually not be covered in shame and not walk, under that place of condemnation? And how we do that is literally, there's so many steps to it, but it's one day at a time process. You do it in community as we begin to embrace ourselves and to love ourselves and even like ourselves, even in spite of, or not even in spite of the things that we've done, but even with those things that we've done, because we begin to grow in compassion and understanding and have grace for ourselves. And you guys, the person that you are today, you will change. You're going to evolve from the person that you are into the person that you want to be if you're moving forward, if you're doing the work, and if you're allowing Jesus to do the things within you. We've got to learn from our mistakes and look at them as life lessons. It's been talked about for years and years about changing our paradigm from failure to lesson. The only time you really fail is if you don't get back up again. A failure is more of a permanent state, where a lesson is something that you learn from a mistake and then you get back up and you keep going. And hopefully you've learned from it. Hopefully you've become wiser from it. Hopefully you've grown in compassion and grace and wisdom and empathy from it, right? And right now, if you're going through a hard time, you may feel like you have way more questions than answers. You just can't even believe some of the things that you're wrestling with. And it's okay to have a lot of questions, okay? But you just keep showing up, because by showing up, you're not abandoning yourself. And when we abandon ourselves, that's when more shame and more condemnation and more, it just gets piled on, and it's super, super painful. I wanted to read one more quote. I read it this morning and I thought it went with this, by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The promise of change empowers you to give grace to your current self. When we are so committed to allowing the good change and the good things to evolve within us, it gives us permission to give ourselves grace and to heal from the mistakes and the things that we've done, so we can still be who we were created to be, okay? And so anyways, when I saw that Will Smith video, I just really wanted to talk about it. I've also been really obsessed with all of this stuff because I've been in the middle of creating this 6-week coaching course that launches in September. And it's called the Feel Better Formula, I think. I don't know what we're going to name it. I think that's what it's named. But it's basically 6 weeks, and we're going to go through kind of how do you feel better? How do you heal from the things of life that are holding you back? And this is one of them, the mistakes that we've made, and how when we're living under the shadow of shame, how do we come out from underneath that? So anyways, I've been obsessing about that. So I think that's why when I watched Will Smith's video, I was like, oh my gosh, I want Will Smith to be part of my group coaching program. But anyways, if you're interested in the 6-week coaching program that launches in September, you can send us an email. I don't even have the sign-up page created yet, but you can email hello@danisumner.com, and there will be a link to it in the show notes. But when we have more info, we'll send it to you, and you can sign up for that. Also, the song of the week, it goes along with it as well. If you're struggling, there's a song by Hillsong, and it's called Whole Heart, and I listened to it this morning like 3 times. It's super powerful, and I just encourage you to just put it on and listen to the words. One of the phrases that keeps repeating, and I think that they repeat it for many reasons, but I think so it can seep deep into our heart and into our psyches, but your grace holds me now. And, it's 5 simple words, but to really press into that, I wanted to encourage you to listen to that song and sing it, or listen to it as a prayer, and just say, Jesus, I want your grace to hold me now. What does that look like? What would it look like in your life if you actually allowed God's grace to hold you in some of the most painful areas of our lives? It's really easy to let grace hold us when things are going well, but when things have fallen apart or there's just painful parts in our lives, it's kind of hard to go there. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that song. I hope you like it. I'll just quickly say the verse of the week, the quote of the week, and the song of the week again is Whole Heart by Hillsong. The link for the song will be in the show notes under Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. And the verse of the week I'll put in the show notes as well, Psalm 34:5, and part of verse 8. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. May we all take refuge in him. And then the quote of the week again by Will Smith. The work I'm trying to do is I'm deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love it. You guys, I love you no matter what you're walking through. I just want you to know that he is with you, and that you are not alone, and that you are loved, and that you're worth it. And so don't abandon yourself. Don't abandon those places in you that you regret or that you're carrying shame about. pick those pieces up, go draw yourself near to God, and know that you are worthy and that he wants to heal you in these places. So you don't have to live under the shadow of condemnation and shame. It's like living in quicksand, and it's super, super painful. I've been there and I hate it. And my role right now in life is to help you embrace, like, and love yourself back to life and allow Jesus to do the same for you. So let me say a little quick prayer for you and enjoy your week. All right, Lord, thank you for my friend. Lord, thank you that you are with them. Thank you that their faces are never covered in shame, no matter what they've done or no matter what's been done to them. Father, that you are near and that you want to heal them. So, Lord, would you bring the people in their lives that will usher them into your grace and into your love and into your purpose for their life. So, Lord, bless them and fill them by the power of your name, Jesus. Amen. All right, love you guys. If you want to find out more about that group coaching program, I'm excited. You can email hello@danisumner.com, and we'll talk to you in a few days. Hello, my friend. If this episode blessed you, made you laugh, or triggered you, hey, that's growth. Please do me a favor and share this with a friend. And if you feel led, please leave a written review for the show. That really helps us out. Don't forget you are in good company if you're feeling more broken than you'd like to admit. And you are more loved than you can ever imagine. Have a great week. See you next time.